All right, so it is moving day here in the wood yard. We're gonna move the Japa over to its new location, which I think is gonna work out better just for processing any smaller logs that I get in now in the fall and winter. Also just because I wanna free up this space for potential drop-offs of loads of logs from Rick. So I have everything hooked up here on the 3-point hitch of the Coyote. And this is the one thing I didn't explain in my little review video. I guess it was sort of like a review. But if you can imagine having like a stand of timber that you wanted to harvest and it was like along a field or something, you could drop those trees out into the field and then have this hooked up to your tractor and then just keep backing up as you processed each of those trees. I think that's kind of like the idea of how they use these PTO driven models like over in Europe, and even I'm sure some places here in the US where you have, you know, like I said, a stand of timber, you're dropping the trees, you can take the tractor with the processor right on it, back it up to the tree, process it, move on to the next one. Anyway, we are gonna move this, and where I'm moving it to is over here. All right, so this has kind of been my main drop zone for when Rick comes in. And you can see in this load of logs right here, there are actually a few smaller sticks in there that I could end up using and putting through the Japa. So with this being kind of my main drop zone right in here, and I've got the splitter shed right here, my thought is to utilize that space right there. That will allow me room to back the tractor up to the Japa. The other thing is, you can see I put the trailer right there because my thought is, if I might have to put this in here kind of like at a little bit of an angle, which will work out good because that way any logs right there, I can feed in and kind of have this at a bit of an angle and then have the conveyor be able to load the trailer. So there is that is going to be the new home for the Japa. We're going to move it over here and get it in place, and then I might even run a few logs through it right there. All right, so I think this might work pretty good. Like I said, that's going to be kind of in line with logs. That way when I come in with the tractor, if I am carrying smaller logs, I don't have to fully turn perpendicular to the splitting shed up there. I can just kind of come in At a little bit of an angle, drop the logs off, but let's see how this thing, how she sits. So there is, I believe, what's going to be the new setup and location for the Japa. So now that everything's set up, I do have a little pile of logs right there, so I may as well fire this thing up and give it a run in its new location. This one's going to need a little help. All right, so if you ever had any doubts about how fast you can make firewood with a Japa, I think your questions are answered. And they don't even mind the Japa. You guys have any doubts? Did you see that? That made pretty quick work of, I had those, I think it was 4 logs here, 2 birch, 2 box elder, and then I pulled over 1 hackberry, one of the smaller hackberry logs. And the Japa took care of those in no time at all. Yeah, it just, I mean, a few of them had a couple, you know, odd shaped little nubs sticking out that I had to work around, but for the most part, yeah, like I said, if you had any doubts about how fast you can make firewood with one of these, I think right there is your answer. Pretty quick. All right, so the Japa has a new home, I think. This is gonna be a nice location, like I stated before, just because whether or not Rick dumps the logs here or now over there where I opened up that area, wherever he puts them, I can bring the smaller stuff, put it down right here, drive in, drop it by the Japa. Bigger chunks will go behind where the camera is to the wolf ridge. And this is now kind of like my little production zone. All right, so I think that'll do it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.